First of all, happy Canada Day to everyone. Thank you for being patient. Joyeuse Fête du Canada, tout le monde. I hope everyone likes my red jacket today in honor of Canada, 150 years. Not a very busy day for us today. Obviously, we signed someone that we can feel that can play on our third or fourth line in Nate Thompson. Someone that will definitely help our culture here, a hard player. Someone that can play the PK, block shots, bring speed. We felt that we followed him all through the year. Especially he didn't play much in the first part of the year, and someone that had good playoffs with Anaheim, and we're really happy to have him on board.
Did that have to do with Guy knowing him and a big part?
Oh, Guy knowing him definitely helped. I think when you have a coach that really likes his role players, I think it'll help. I think we have a bit more of a condensed schedule compared to other teams this year, so I think the key to having our four lines playing as balanced hockey as possible will be very important for us. With the Sweden trip in November, we've taken a lot of days where we'll be away. And I think we're the team with the most back-to-backs in our schedule this year, so I think it'll be very important to have four balanced lines.
Where are you at with Victor Stalberg?
We're still talking. I wish I could have came up here with some news, but at this point in time, we're still talking. Hopefully we can get something done. We'd like to bring back Victor, but at the same time, we have, at this point in time, we have 12 forwards signed under one-way contracts, if I'm not mistaken. And, we'd like to add Victor because you can never have too many bodies, but it has to be the right fit.
Can you update Daniel Alfredsson leaving the organization, or were you surprised by it?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I think from a personal note, Daniel and I were the same age. He was slightly a better hockey player than me. But we talked yesterday evening, and he indicated to me that he wanted to leave the organization for now. The door will always be open for Daniel. Daniel's input over the last 2 years has been tremendous. We've really developed a really good friendship, really developed a really good professional working relationship. Wherever Daniel goes, you can be sure that he's a pretty bright guy. He's going to have success. And he just felt that at this point in time, he wanted to just step away. He just bought a house. I know he's going back to Sweden tomorrow. So I think he just wanted to take a step back.
Did he not give you a reason, Pierre?
No, he didn't really give me a reason. He just felt that it was, he was really appreciative of everything that he's learned over the last 2 years, being part of our management group. His input was always appreciated from my side of things, especially being so close to being a former player and stepping in. And so no real reason, just felt it was the right thing to do at this point in time. And, I really respect him. He's beaten me at golf every time. He's taken my money, so I even respect him more. But he's going to have success whatever he does.
Is there a hole that's left now that you guys will be looking to fill?
Probably. I don't know. Might be looking at adding a pro scout. Talking about pro scouts, it's a big day for them. Jim Clark, John Perpich, Mike Abamont, Steve Sterling. They spent a lot of hours with all these contracts, so I want to thank them personally. But we might be looking in that direction, maybe adding another pro scout, maybe promoting someone. We'll look at all of our options.
Est-ce que c'était une nouvelle qui est tombée comme ça là, rapidement, ou tu t'y attendais un petit peu, Daniel?
Je m'y attendais peut-être un peu. Tu sais, on voit que quand tu fais partie d'un groupe exécutif, qu'il faut que tu mettes beaucoup de temps. Puis, je pense que Daniel nous l'a dit souvent qu'il faut qu'on mette beaucoup de temps lorsqu'on a ces emplois ici, que ce soit un gérant, un assistant gérant ou quelqu'un qui avise, on doit mettre beaucoup de temps. Donc, pour nous, c'est un peu décevant, mais n'importe quoi que Daniel va faire, on sait qu'il va toujours avoir du succès.
Dans ce qu'il t'apportait, qu'est-ce qui va être difficile à remplacer?
Je pense que le fait que ça fait pas longtemps qu'il joue, je pense qu'il connaissait quand même assez bien les joueurs. Pardon pour l'anglicisme, il had a pulse of what was going on. Il avait vraiment une bonne idée qu'est-ce qui arrivait avec les joueurs d'aujourd'hui, même s'il était encore un peu plus vieux. Mais je pense que c'est une perte pour l'organisation, mais Daniel va avoir beaucoup de succès en tout ce qu'il va faire.
You mentioned it in French, but is that the biggest loss maybe is sort of that he was that gap filler between management and players because he wasn't that far removed from the...
No, I think the biggest loss is Mark Method.
So then with that in mind, how big is it? I mean, you now lose Mark Method, you lose Alfredsson. What's the message for fans of feeling like there's a lot of loss happening right now?
Yeah, but there'll be a lot of gains too, Lisa. I think if you look at it, we have Thomas Chabot. I don't know if you were at the scrimmage the other day. I was high-fiving the coach. So we're pretty happy. We've seen a big growth in Thomas Chabot. From the time he left here to the time he went to the World Juniors to the time he was the MVP in the playoffs, we've seen, even Guy turned to me and goes, oh my God, I'm just watching how he practices, how it's different than when he first stepped in camp last year. You know, and I'm not comparing them, but if Zach Werenski stepped into a pretty good team in Columbus, I think Thomas Chabot can step into our team. If Ben Harper played as well as he did in the playoffs in crucial games against Boston, I think he can step into our lineup. We got a guy by the name Christian Jaros, who's like a right-handed Boro, who can hit as hard as you can see, and he's 6'3", 6'4". They've got songs about him in Sweden, and he's Slovakian. So there's some stuff that we gain. If you look at our opening night roster and you look at what we have now, okay, yes, we did lose Mark Mathon, but there's a good chance that Thomas Chabot will be able to step in that role, and I think we're as good as we were last year up front. So I think it's pretty, and I know things will have to fall in place, but I'm pretty pumped up about next year. I don't want it to start tomorrow. I'd like to have maybe a few days off because it hasn't been like that since the end of the year, but I'm pumped up about our team. I really feel we can continue on the path that we finished last year.
Did you kind of kick tires on that free agent defense market
until
you evaluated where you were at?
Yeah. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, obviously we kick tires. We kick tires on everything. We didn't kick tires on goalies. We talked to a few guys, and we just felt that Mike Condon was the best option. Having Craig and Mike to start the year is a pretty good tandem to have. When it comes to defensemen, we've talked to a lot of guys over the free agent period that we could interview guys. We talked to a lot of guys today. But the depth on defense is not anything that worries me. I think for us, it was more about rounding out our team, rounding out our top 12 forwards. You know, having Clark MacArthur healthy, I think really helps us go in that direction next year. We've got 12 guys that are signed. I think everyone will fill in a good role. And when it comes to defense, with what we have coming, why go and sign an older guy when you know you have some pretty good special kids coming up?
Moi, Chabot, le rôle qui peut jouer en début de saison l'an prochain, as-tu déjà une idée de ce qui serait raisonnable pour un jeune de 19-20 ans?
Guy Boucher va décider ça. Nous, c'est de donner les meilleurs joueurs disponibles pour Guy Boucher. Puis, s'il voit que c'est quelqu'un qui peut jouer dans sa première paire, deuxième paire, troisième paire, qui rentre dans l'alignement, qui sort dans l'alignement, il n'y aura pas de problème.
You talked about Clark MacArthur. At the end of the season, he didn't seem completely 100% sure he was coming back to play. Do you know that he's coming back?
I don't know more than you, Brent, but all I know is he finished a year. He played in the last game. We foresee him coming back. I think he was, first 3 games he played, we won all 3. Then we went to New York. We had pretty much our place solidified. We lost that one. He scored the winning goal, winning Boston. I think he was a key player for us, and having him hopefully train all summer and come back, I think it'll be just a bonus for our team.
Do you have some kind of neck issue, though?
Yeah, he talked to me about his neck, but as far as I know, everything seems good. I've asked any injuries. We've asked about Brassard. Brassard's doing well. Eric's got the cast off. So we're headed in the right direction.
What are you going to do with, what's his name there, the other goalie, Hammond? What are you going to do with Hammond?
Right now, he's the 3rd guy we have. I can't, Bruce. I've had talks with teams.
Yeah.
When teams were looking for backups, obviously his name came up. A few teams inquired. The price wasn't very high to acquire him, and a lot of the teams went in another direction. And he's part of our organization, and he's ahead of schedule as far as recovery. And I think it was either Brian or someone else they showed us him jumping on Twitter, or he was jumping or doing some hula hoops. Or I don't know exactly what it was, but so he's part of the organization right now.
What does Thompson bring in?
Thompson brings character, helps our culture, block shots, PK, hardness, can play a role. So it's a lot of things that we were looking for. I think if you look at our center with Turris, Brassard, Pajot, Thompson, I feel that we're ahead of where we were last year, and no disrespect to anyone else.
Do you see Colin White's? Sorry, go ahead.
I see Colin White as someone who will challenge to play on our team. I think we all know Derek might not start the year. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it for you guys. Colin White, Logan Brown, Max Reinhart are guys that could challenge. Philip Chaplik. To me, Philip Chaplik was probably our best player during the scrimmage the other day. Not that it means anything, but where Philip Chaplik has gone from a year to now means a lot to me because he's progressing. Are all guys that could, maybe start the year with us. Now, it'll be up to them. Nothing's ever given here.
I was just curious.
No. Colin White I see as a center.
Right?
Yeah, I see Colin White more as a center personally, but the coach might see something else, and he's the one who puts him on the ice.
Tu sonnes comme quelqu'un qui a pas mal fini son magasinage de position. Tu as pas fait Stallberg, est-ce que tu peux en place?
Non, jamais fini. Téléphone toujours ouvert. Si on peut améliorer l'équipe, on va regarder. On parle encore à quelques défenseurs, on parle encore à quelques autres avant, puis on va voir où est-ce que la direction qu'on va prendre.
You did say something about Chris Kelly maybe getting an offer over there in the summer.
Yeah.
Is that with Thompson? Does it change plans?
No, because Chris can play the wing also. Chris can play left wing or center, play right wing. Chris is so smart, maybe we'll put him on defense. I'm kidding. But the door's always open for Chris. If Chris doesn't get a contract, we've talked that he can come to our camp, and see where we're at. Maybe Brassard takes a bit longer. We'll see where we're at with that situation.
Where are you at with your restricted free agents?
Had a quick conversation with Chris Drager, his agent today, and quick conversation with Patrick Sayaloff's agent. Those are the two you're asking about, I presume? Pajot and Zingle, we spoke to both Don Mean and Craig Oster a few days ago. We said, let's get through July 1st, and hopefully we can avoid arbitration. If we have to go to arbitration, I'll get to go to a Blue Jay game, so you can come with me if you want, Bruce.
Are you, and sorry, I missed you on Stallberg, you're saying that you've got 12 forwards and the deal has to make sense?
Yeah, right now we have 12 guys on a one-way contract, if I'm not mistaken. So, it has to be the right fit. It has to make sense. We'd like to bring Victor back. We know that you don't go through the year with 12 forwards. That's never happened in the history of the league, and it won't happen. But no, we'd like to bring him back. I thought he definitely contributed to our success in getting to the conference finals. Any other questions?
You got
Well, Bruce has at least 4 more.
you got more to do in the next couple of days?
Well, ideally, it feels since April 10th, I've had about 2 days off. People think that all we do is get on the phone and make trades, and this job's much more about that. And my 30 other counterparts can tell you that we're busy, like from the end of the season now is our busiest time. Ideally, in a perfect world, we'd like to get our 4 RFAs done within the next few days, but that won't happen, Bruce. So after that, we're going to keep on trying to explore all our options, making our team better. I like our team. I feel we're headed in the right direction. I feel we're ahead of where we were when we started last year. So for us moving forward, if we can always get better, we will. And if not, we'll stick with what we got.
Do you want a depth defenseman or a veteran blue liner at all? You look at, you have 6 guys under contract, Thomas Chabot as well, Ben Harper. Are you pretty much happy with your blue line?
Yeah. Blue line's not my worry. Very happy with our blue line.
I'll ask what Dion Phaneuf.
Yeah, ask away.
There's plenty of chatter about possibly looking at talks or moving him at all, or
No, obviously everyone knew we asked him to move his no move clause. He declined. Well within his right. Dion's a player that has, he's been a good player in this league. He's been an outstanding player in this league. And it was well within his right. And the fact that he very clearly indicated to us, I really like where Ottawa's going. I like the direction of this team. I want to stay here. Is totally respect him. After that, teams phoned. We didn't really shop them. They phoned, so you have to listen. And if the offer makes sense and for his organization, we get better, then we have to look at it. Now, obviously, Dion has only 12 teams that he'll go to. So we didn't really explore outside those. When other teams phoned that were outside those 12, I said, I'm not going to do that to Dion. He's a pro. he helped this team have the success. So, and he's here. I don't see him moving right now. You never know what can happen. I think except for one player, everyone else could be traded. One guy will never be traded. Not Pajot. You guys all know who he is. I saw his picture on the cover of the latest Hockey News, right in the middle between Crosby and McDavid. So, Don, it's Erik Karlsson.